Get away from me. I told you to leave me alone.
Her voice trembled, but the sharp edge in her tone sliced through the dimly lit hallway behind the school gymnasium. The new girl, known as the quiet one among her peers, was pinned against a row of battered lockers by Ethan, a senior with a cruel sneer twisting his face. He towered over her by nearly a foot, his friends' taunting laughter echoing off the scuffed walls, resonating in her chest. The scene screamed trouble, and a single question burned in every onlooker's mind. Why target someone so reserved, so seemingly harmless? But before anyone could piece it together, before they could grasp why a shy transfer student was caught in this tense standoff, the situation surged to a breaking point. What no one knew was that this unassuming newcomer, her eyes glinting with a mix of ferocity and fragility, concealed a secret skill set so astonishing it would leave Ridgway high in stunned disbelief. She'd only arrived at the school 3 days ago, slipping into second-period math without fanfare. Gossip spread quickly, though. Whispers filled the cafeteria. She barely speaks. Maybe she thinks she's better than us. Others speculated. I heard her mom got transferred. That's why she's here. Rumors soared, burying the truth. In a place like Ridgway, where social hierarchies shaped reputations overnight, her silence made her an easy mark for someone like Ethan, an arrogant senior whose father's influence in the district gave him unchecked power. He was accustomed to ruling the halls, building or breaking reputations with a nod or a biting remark, and he zeroed in on her without hesitation. So there she stood, her body shaking slightly, a storm of panic and confusion tightening her muscles. Though her voice wavered, a spark of resolve glimmered beneath her timid exterior. This wasn't her first run-in with someone like him. Past high schools had their share of bullies, each believing they could break her. But something about this place felt different. For one, the teacher who might have stepped in was absent, leaving the corridor eerily empty except for Ethan's jeering crew. The rumor that the administration ignored his antics suddenly seemed all too plausible. The air reeked of stale gum, mildew, and fear, a flickering fluorescent light overhead pulsing with her heartbeat. When Ethan shoved her again, slamming her back against the lockers, she clenched her fists. Part of her ached to fight back, to take a stand, but her mother's soft, persistent voice echoed in her mind. Keep your head down. Don't stir trouble. We can't afford another incident. Memories surged of hurried moves, suitcases packed due to financial struggles and personal tragedies. Each relocation was a fresh start, a chance to escape old ghosts. She'd promised this time would be different, which was why she fought so hard to stay invisible. But that vow teetered as the moment stretched on. A crowd gathered, phones raised, some curious, some horrified, a few secretly amused. This was high school at its rawest, with apathetic bystanders more eager to record for social media than to intervene. As the tension crackled, onlookers sensed they might witness a meltdown or a revelation, whichever came first. In a world where a 30-second viral clip could cement your status, this was the drama many craved. Ethan leaned in, his voice low and venomous. You think you can ignore me? He pressed his forearm to the locker beside her head, caging her in. The flicker in her eyes burned brighter, battling tears. She swallowed hard. I'm warning you, she said, her tone subdued. He laughed. Warning me? That's cute. Do you know who my dad is? His smug grin could make anyone flinch. Her heart raced, but she kept her trembling hands at her sides. She recalled her old kung fu instructor's teachings. Assess the situation, stay calm, wait until there's no other choice. Right now, she clung to the hope of a peaceful escape, though it grew less likely by the second. She didn't want to reveal her secret, Didn't want to fuel rumors she was trouble. All she wanted was a normal senior year, to help her mom pay rent, to save for college. But as the crowd's murmurs grew into a low rumble of shock, the tension soared, and something had to give. Suddenly, a teacher appeared at the far end of the hallway, an older woman with glasses perched on her nose. Miss Carter, the weary chemistry teacher nearing retirement, froze as she took in the rowdy group. Perhaps deciding it was unwise to confront Ethan without backup, she turned and hurried toward the main office. The crowd exchanged looks. Some smirked, some sneered. A few felt a pang of guilt, but none acted. The new girl, still pinned, clenched her jaw, staring at the football team insignia on Ethan's jacket, a symbol of his power in these halls. He sneered again. "Don't hold your breath. Nobody's coming to save you." A hush fell. Then, subtly, she shifted her stance, a move only a trained eye would notice. Her voice dropped. "You're right. No one's saving me, so I'll have to save myself." The words crackled with an electric undercurrent, rippling through the onlookers. But instead of striking, she exhaled shakily. Just then, Miss Carter returned with Principal Hayes, a tall, broad-shouldered man known for quashing trouble to protect the school's image. Phones lowered, the crowd scattered. Ethan stepped back, smirking as if he had all the time in the world to torment her. She stood there, face blank, arms wrapped around herself as if containing her fury. Principal Hayes gave them a stern glare, ordering them back to class. Ethan offered a fake apology, while she bowed her head, hiding the storm of emotions in her chest. Relief washed over her briefly, then dread crept back. This was likely just the start. She remembered her last school in Boston, where a similar clash spiraled out of control, earning her a suspension while the instigator, backed by connected parents, faced little consequence. There was no winning if she revealed her skills, no winning if she stayed silent. She walked away, pulse thumping, footsteps echoing in the empty corridor. One thing was clear: normalcy would be impossible if Ethan kept targeting her. That night, in her small bedroom, she gazed out at the city lights. It was past 10 p.m., her mom still at work, pulling a late shift to cover their modest rent. The quiet pressed in, heavy and stifling. She flicked on a lamp, rummaging through the lone wooden trunk from their last home. She pulled out a black belt, crisp from disuse. Memories flooded back. Her instructor's voice, the steady feel of her stance, the adrenaline of executing forms with precision. She used to compete, drawing crowds with her skill, but after a serious incident a year ago that nearly got her expelled, she swore to keep it hidden. She didn't want to be known as a fighter, didn't want to be a cautionary tale. But recalling Ethan's sneer and the crowd's silence, she gripped the belt tightly. Maybe hiding was no longer an option. The next morning, she tucked the belt away, as if its presence might lend courage. In the mirror, dark circles framed her sleepless eyes, nerves buzzing with anxiety. She exhaled, nodding firmly at her reflection. "Let them try," she whispered, her vow tinged with unease. She grabbed her backpack and headed out. The walk to school felt endless, clouds looming overhead, promising a storm. A car horn blared in the distance, the morning bustle carrying a sense of foreboding. She clutched her phone, palms sweaty. Inside the school, the student body's energy pulsed around her. She wove through crowds, catching stares and whispers. "That's the one Ethan cornered." Another voice. "She didn't even fight back. Maybe she's not worth his time." She ignored them. The halls were still plastered with pep rally banners and charity drive posters, a surreal contrast to her dread of another confrontation. Just before first period, footsteps trailed her in that same deserted corridor. She tensed, then heard a soft voice. "Hey, are you okay?" Turning, she saw Mia, a junior with short, lavender-tinted hair, and a concerned expression. Emma, as we'll call her, nodded once, keeping her face neutral. I'm fine. What? Mia shrugged. Saw what happened yesterday. Didn't look fine. Emma studied her, unsure if this was a trap or genuine, but Mia's compassion seemed real. Ethan's been harassing people for years, Mia continued. I crossed him once, and I still have nightmares. A heavy pause. Look, I've got friends who want him stopped, but no one knows how. Every time someone tries, they get humiliated or threatened, and the administration does nothing. Maybe you noticed. Emma nodded slightly, recalling Principal Hayes' tense jaw and Miss Carter's retreat. She sighed. Yeah, I noticed. Caution urged her to stay guarded, but Mia's sincerity softened her. Thanks for checking on me, she said quietly. I'm just not sure what I can do. Mia touched her shoulder. You'd be surprised how many of us are tired of living in fear. If you need backup, let me know. She offered a warm smile. That moment glowed like a beacon. Emma nodded gratefully, and they parted ways. The day dragged. In English, Emma's thoughts drifted to facing Ethan again, her martial arts training flashing through her mind, hours of discipline etched into her movements. The irony stung. She could protect herself, yet fear of consequences held her back. At lunch, she picked at a pizza slice in the noisy cafeteria. Ethan presided over a table of jocks, tossing fries and laughing loudly. She tried to avert her gaze, but a balled-up napkin sailed through the air, landing on her tray. She glanced up, locking eyes with Ethan's contemptuous grin. She forced herself to look away, cheeks burning, refusing to give him the satisfaction of a reaction. The cafeteria buzzed with chatter, ignoring the tension. In history class, her phone vibrated. She usually kept it off, but instinct made her check. A text from an unknown number. I know you can fight. Show me what you got. Her heart pounded. How did someone know? Were there rumors from her old school? She stared, pulse racing. Was it Ethan or someone else? No one around her seemed to notice. She pocketed the phone, mind reeling. When the final bell rang, she rushed out, nearly colliding with Mia. Whoa, Mia said. You okay? You look spooked. Emma swallowed. Does anyone know about my background? Her voice trembled. Mia frowned. Your past? Not really. What happened? Emma showed her the text. Mia's eyes widened. That's totally Ethan's style. He messes with people's phones, or his cronies do, to scare them. Emma's face paled, but she squared her shoulders. I won't let him intimidate me, she whispered, though her stomach twisted. Mia looked worried. If you need anything, text me. Emma nodded, gripping her phone, and took a longer route home through side streets, autumn leaves soothing her nerves slightly. She scolded herself for being jumpy. Why should she hide? Ethan was the aggressor, yet the school's hierarchy made him untouchable. Anger bubbled beneath her calm exterior. She refused to be a perpetual victim. That evening, she sat on her bed, sifting through old emails and photos. She found one from her 2022 tournament, wearing a white GI, black belt tied firmly, her expression fierce. That girl felt so different from the subdued one in the mirror now. She studied her stance, the fire in her eyes, a tear falling. She used to feel unstoppable, but life had chipped away at that confidence. The memory reignited her purpose. Another text came. Meet me in the old gym after school tomorrow. Let's see what you're hiding. Her jaw clenched, dread pooling. This was it. Ethan wanted a confrontation. She stared, then typed, fine. Anxiety clawed at her, but relief flickered. This could end it. She considered telling an adult, but past experiences reminded her the system often favored the powerful. She barely slept. Morning brought a tightness in her chest, but clarity emerged. She'd handle this on her terms. She wore jeans and a hoodie, hiding her nerves. At school, She moved through classes in a haze, dodging glances. At lunch, Mia joined her by the cafeteria window. You seem tense. What's up? Emma hesitated, then confessed. He challenged me to meet him in the old gym after school. Mia's eyes widened. He's dangerous, Emma. If you fight, you'll get in trouble. If he gets hurt, his dad will raise hell. Emma nodded grimly. I know. I don't want this, but I'm done running. Mia frowned, fear in her eyes. Can I do anything? Emma inhaled. Just trust me. If it spins out of control, I might need you to get help. Mia nodded reluctantly. Be careful. Emma forced a smile, appetite gone, the showdown's weight pressing down. When the final bell chimed, her heart rattled. She headed to the old gym, an abandoned storage space with dusty bleachers and old equipment. The air was musty, lights casting long shadows. Ethan leaned against a beam, arms folded, smirking. Two wrestling team buddies flanked him, exuding arrogance. Emma scanned the room. No one else. Were they recording? Blackmailing? She breathed deeply. Ethan stepped forward. So, you showed up, he drawled. She shrugged. Why wouldn't I? He chuckled. Heard you're tough, but you've been acting like a scared mouse. Prove you're not bluffing. Her pulse thundered. She glanced at his friends, their grins wolfish. She wanted peace, but it seemed inevitable. Just leave me alone, she said softly, voice trembling. Ethan circled her, his friends closing in. Where's the fun in that? He spat, raising his fists mockingly. Let's see what you're made of. She considered backing down, but knew he'd hound her relentlessly. Enough was enough. She inhaled, posture straightening, expression shifting from timid to resolute. Every technique, every stance burned into her muscles surfaced. You're making a mistake, she warned. He scoffed. One sidekick lunged, swinging at her. She pivoted, ducking, and swept his legs, sending him crashing, stunned. Ethan's face twisted in shock, then rage. He lunged, aiming at her midsection. She dodged, the punch missing, and struck his shoulder, not to harm, but to warn. He stumbled, furious. The second sidekick charged, but she sensed it, blocked, and sent him tumbling into old mats. Her movements were swift, precise, echoing her black belt training. Ethan snarled, You're dead, and charged, fists flying. He grazed her chin, pain blooming, but she countered with a palm strike to his chest. He staggered, livid. His friends hesitated, unsure. Emma glanced at the door, wondering if she should leave before anyone got hurt. Then she saw Mia peeking through a side entrance, mouthing, Be careful. Phone ready to call 911. Emma nodded, refocusing. Ethan, sweating, demanded, Who the hell are you? She steadied her breath. Someone tired of bullies. His friends exchanged looks. One muttered, Ethan, should we go? His pride held firm, but they looked rattled. Principal Hayes stormed in with Miss Carter and two security officers. A rumor must have spread. Ethan froze. Emma's heart sank. Being caught could ruin her. She stepped back, hands raised. Hayes' voice boomed. What's going on here? Ethan started to speak, but Miss Carter cut him off. Save it. We got a tip. Everyone to my office. Emma glanced at Mia, who vanished. Security escorted Ethan and his friends out, ignoring their protests. Emma followed, mind racing, as students' stares trailed them, whispers igniting. In Hayes' office, Emma sat alone, facing Miss Carter. Your side, Carter said softly. Emma explained Ethan's harassment, the challenge, her reluctance to fight. Carter nodded, doubt lingering but sensing Emma's earnestness. Time dragged as Emma worried Ethan would twist the story. Then Carter and Hayes returned with a sidekick, who looked pale. It wasn't her fault, he admitted. Ethan wanted to humiliate her. We just went along. Emma's jaw dropped, relief flooding her. Hayes nodded. Write it down. The truth emerged. Emma was cornered, forced to defend herself. Though the administration questioned if violence was avoidable, the psychic's statement and Emma's bruises pointed to provocation. She got a warning for fighting, but Ethan faced indefinite suspension pending review. His father raged, threatening to pull sports funding, but the school board, under scrutiny, upheld the rules. Leaving the office, Emma felt relief mixed with fear of retaliation. But as she walked, students parted, some clapping softly, others nodding. "Way to go," they murmured. Mia hugged her, tears pooling. "I thought you'd get expelled." Emma smiled weakly. "Me too." The truth came out. Days later, Ethan's suspension sparked rumors. Some said his father mitigated it, others that he'd transfer. His reign weakened, and the school's atmosphere shifted. Students once cowed mingled freely. Emma's anonymity was gone. Some thanked her, sharing their bully stories. She felt proud, yet uneasy. Mia suggested a peer support group. Emma hesitated, recalling her isolation that first day. "Good idea," she said, smiling. Weeks later, a text from Ethan. "I'm sorry." Stunned, she replied, accepting but not forgetting. Closure settled. The school launched Anti-Bullying Week, banners promoting kindness. Emma felt pride. Her actions sparked change. She and Mia started Stand Strong. At its first meeting, 15 students shared stories, launching a #StandStrong campaign. Before winter break, Emma spoke at an assembly, her story resonating. Applause roared. Her mom hugged her, tears falling. At a diner celebration, Mia asked, "Advice for facing bullies?" Emma paused. "Silence doesn't protect you. Standing up isn't always fighting. It's refusing to hide." They toasted. A text later said, "Heard what you did. Respect." Emma didn't reply but smiled. Her courage ignited change, proving one voice can unmask wrong and inspire unity. Her journey wasn't about skill or revenge, but showing silence empowers tormentors. By standing firm, she found allies, proving obstacles lose power when people unite. If her story resonates, like and share to remind others they're not alone. One moment can change everything, revealing the strength we all hold.